little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it.
First of all, we want to say congratulations to Jumaane. Bringing this little queen into the world, and his wife, praying for you. Just two quick points before we start this important press conference. You guys kill me. What part of Albany were you covering? Eric gets beat up in Albany. What meetings were you guys in? I went to Albany, sat down with Andrea and Carl. We've laughed, we talked about old times. We talked about how we're together on keeping our city safe. Andrea gave me a pear and an apple. We walked out and said in front of everyone that we are aligned in keeping our city and our state safe. I went to the conferences. I spoke to the Senate conference. First few speakers spoke to me. Andrea said, hey, stop with the love fest, because Eric got to go, so let's get some questions in. Senator after senator talked about the relationship that we had. There was no arguing, no yelling, no screaming. Areas we disagreed on, we talked about it and we walked through them. We talked about EITC. We talked about violence. We talked about all of these issues in a civil way. I went to the Assembly conference. People raised the issues that they had and we talked. Black mayor, black speaker, black majority leader, coming together and talking to each other. And if you would have turned on the news this morning, you would have said, it was all hell up there. I'm trying to figure out, do you guys already write the stories before I do something and just live out what you have already written? I'm going to stop doing off topics. Because if you already have your perception of me and you're already going to stick to what you think I am, then why am I doing this? If you want to acknowledge or not, I have been doing a darn good job. And we just can't live in this alternate reality. I was blown away when I picked up the papers today. That did not happen in Albany. And then we found one person, who I don't even know who it is, who said that Eric got beat up. And that became the news. This unknown source. Look, we need you. We need you. People pick up the papers in the morning and they define their reality. If you send the tone that we are in chaos, people are going to believe that. And if we were in chaos, then you report the news. But that should have never happened yesterday. We all have the right to our own opinions. We don't have the right to our own facts. I went to Albany as a mayor, and I represented this city with the issues that are important to this city. And the people heard me. They respected my opinion, and I respected their opinion. That was really unfortunate on what I saw in the papers and in the news today. Really unfortunate. And if this is how this is going to be, then I'm just going to come in, do my announcements, and bounce. I'm not going to, why am I even answering these questions? And it happens over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And folks, this is frustrating. Bless you. It's really frustrating. You wouldn't want my deputy mayors and team to distort the reporting of how we run in the city. Then we need to stop distorting the news. We need to really stop distorting the news. And, I'm going to say this. And, I'm not saying it out of hate. I'm saying it out of love. I'm a black man that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me. We got to be honest about that. How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written? How many Asians? How many East Indians? How many South Asians? Everybody talks about my government being diversified. What's the diversification in the newsrooms? So everybody go back with their predispositions, and my role as mayor is being interpreted through the prisms of your realities and not mine. So when you write stories, you're not writing stories for people who was almost homeless like me. You're not writing stories for people who were arrested and beat by police officers. You're not writing stories from those who are dealing with high crime. You're writing from your prisms. And I'm not saying this to attack, but my administration is going to be about saying the obvious that other people are uncomfortable with saying. Discomfort is growth. So I say that to all your owners of your papers, your editorials, diversify your newsroom so I can look out and see people that look like me and say, we're going to write stories based on the prisms that we have, based on the prism of this young man, based on the prism of being the first black woman that's the speaker, or Jumaane Williams, based on the prisms of his realities. It's not what we're getting. That's not what we're getting. And that's why I'm covered the way I'm covered. And I'm not comfortable with it. And last thing I want to talk about why we're doing this today. We're doing it because of Jaquan. Sat down with Jaquan's dad. And we talked about that young man. And I thought about Jordan. That's all I could think about, Jordan, my son. And how much we want the best for our sons and daughters. And we exchanged just the human part of Jaquan. Enjoy fishing, riding his dirt bike, good ball player, spending time with his dad. His dad loved him like I love Jordan. And sometimes we don't think about that when it comes down to fathers. And to lose that young man at 18 was horrific. And as I sat down and spoke with him and just felt the pain, and I thought about, imagine losing Jordan at that age. Not enjoy fishing with him. And looking at his report card and seeing how well he was doing academically in spite of the betrayal of our city. And so what we're doing today is part of the component that I stated, that we can save the children of this city, like this young man. And young blood, I know your heart is beating standing in front of all these cats, but trust me, just breathe. Just breathe. Just take some good breath, man. I got to stand in front of them all the time. And all I do is just breathe. But you be bold, be unafraid, and be true. But most importantly, be you. Because no matter what you are, no matter if you are a mailroom attendant, a messenger, or the mayor, they're just not going to get us. They're never going to get us. So we got to get ourselves. And so today, we brought together this important group of people to talk about another piece of my administration. Our summer youth employment is crucial. We're reaffirming our commitment to our young people in the city of New York. You heard me talk about it. As I mentioned it again, it's about turning around these conditions, removing the impediments that allowing these children to enjoy the city that they watch continually grow while their future goes down. We're saying enough of that. Every young person should have an opportunity. There are young people in this city, they are born on 1 square mile. They go to school in 1 square mile. They eat in 1 square mile. They stay within 1 square mile, not understanding the importance of exposure. A job, internship, exposure is more than just putting money in their pockets to help a family. It is a way to understand that there's a world out there that they deserve to be a part of. And together today we're giving these opportunities with an unprecedented investment in our summer youth employment program. And, Jumaane, I thank you. You spoke to me as the borough president. This is something you always knew, and I really appreciate you for doing so and pushing this forward. And as we navigated this, all I could do is think about you talking about this for years. As part of the preliminary budget, we're expanding the program this year to 100,000 jobs will be available to youth ages 14 to 24. And there's no way I would have been able to do it without another Adams. We are almost like a law firm, Adams and Adams. And we'll help young people get experienced jobs, not just sitting in the park, cleaning up a park, not just, being a messenger. Those are good jobs, so don't write the story, Eric is attacking jobs. No, but we want our young people to be exposed. We want them in an environment where they are exposed with the opportunities that other children get. I don't care if it's in Albany, if it's in Washington, no matter where we are, when we look at the young people who are being exposed, they don't look like this young man who's standing beside me. So small businesses, nonprofit providers, large retailers, hospitals and city agencies such as Park, our city agencies must be engaged in part of that exposure, and that is the charge that I'm giving my city agencies. You do internship programs, I want to walk inside and I want to see the children of my city inside, because interns become employees, and those employees start to lead agencies. We're not in the feeder, so we never get the opportunity to lead the agencies and become the employees. Overwhelmingly, number of young people in my agencies as interns moved on to become my staffers and my employees. If we don't give them a chance, they won't do so. And so we're gonna look for internships in technology, finance, advertising, consulting firms. This is the largest number of jobs made available in this program's history, and I cannot thank the speaker enough for just getting it. And it's a $79 million investment. Jumaane says all the time, show me where you put your money, show me that's where your priorities are. We're opening the doors of opportunities for our sons and daughters of the city that have historically witnessed the doors being shut in their faces. Well, darn it, we're kicking those doors open and allowing them to be inside and sit down at the table of opportunities like so many have for so many years, and helping them get the training that they need so they can move into employment. New York City is leading the way with the largest summer youth employment program in the nation. This is how we change the lives and change the course of our young people. And so I want to thank all of our partners who have been part of this vision and dream. You're helping raise our children for a future and helping give thousands of young people like John, Darlene, Jacob, that are behind me and part of this, a pathway to a higher future. I campaigned on this. I listened to people throughout the year like Jumaane Williams and Adrienne Adams, the leader, and we're now actualizing that vision. And so today, the promise I made is the promise I kept, and we're announcing that promise to you. And so we know that gang violence and gun violence is real and it's pervasive. But if you want to stop someone from holding steel gun in their hand, give them an opportunity to hold the tools they need to be productive as a citizen. And we know we can do it if we invest in the right way. This is why our summer youth employment is imperative to institute this change that we're looking for. So when you think about the city coming together, let's come together with employment. And I believe this is the moment of kicking off the future of ensuring that we don't feed the crises that we have witnessed throughout the years. And so I'm really proud of this. One of the most significant and important appointments I made was Sheena Wright. She talked about this throughout my entire campaigning, having as the deputy mayor for strategic operations. Every day she's coming up with new ways, and we're going to roll out an unprecedented and impressive way of bringing these partners together to deal with these historical issues that have held people in systemic poverty, crime, and uncertainty. And so I am really proud to bring on just a good friend, a great New Yorker, and an important additive to my administration, Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright.
Thank you so much, Mayor Adams. I am really grateful to be a part of an administration that is getting so much done for the community and the people that we serve. I want to thank the Division for Youth and Community Development that will be really the anchor for this historic expansion. Coming out of the pandemic, this historic announcement is just what we need. Research has shown again and again that summer youth employment improves academic outcomes, improves public safety, it increases job readiness and knowledge of career options for young people, and it connects young people to adult mentors and gives them real world experience. And I'm sure the young people will also say it's very important that it also put some money in their pockets, much needed this summer. So this is historic, unprecedented, and a priority, a strategic initiative and a strategic priority for this administration. And I am so proud and pleased to be a part of it. And I'm also proud and pleased to introduce our esteemed and historic City Council Speaker, Adrienne Adams, who's a tremendous partner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Adams. Deputy Mayor Wright, thank you for your partnership and leadership in expanding opportunities for our city's young people through the Summer Youth Employment Program in the preliminary budget. I want to also acknowledge our public advocate and new daddy, Jumaane Williams. Congratulations to you on the birth of your beautiful daughter. I also greet my colleagues in the City Council, Council members Althea Stevens and Council member Rita Joseph. Today's announcement that SYEP and other city programs will provide 100,000 summer jobs for our youth ages 14 to 24. It is historic. In the 6 decades that this critical program has been in existence, this is the largest number of opportunities that our city has ever provided to our youth. Expanding these opportunities for young people is critical to our shared goal of creating strong and safe communities. These types of investments are essential to address and prevent the increased violence that our city and many other cities across the nation are facing. Communities of color have encountered disinvestment and neglect for far, far too long, and there is no better time than the present for us to make historic investments just like this. We know that providing economic opportunity through jobs, workforce development, and other means are vital to public safety. It is especially important that we deliver positive opportunities and pathways during the summer months, when we know that violence tends to spike. We need to ensure that this investment not only engages our young people, but also supports our small businesses as essential partners, recovering from the pandemic and improving the well-being of our neighborhoods. Summer jobs give young people like this valuable work experience that can set them up for successful careers while they earn paychecks that help them sustain themselves and contribute to their families. These are formative experiences that allow young people to develop new skills, build their resumes, and become young professionals in our workforce. Whether working at a community-based organization, a major company, or a neighborhood small business, our young people walk away with memorable experiences. And I can let you know that, like my own family members, including my precious granddaughter, last year, who didn't realize that her Nona in the city council was responsible, along with her colleagues, for ensuring an increase and a keep up of our SYEP program through funding, that she too would benefit from SYEP. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this increase. And Taylor, Adrian, thanks you also. We can literally open up pathways for our future leaders with this program. That's why I'm in full support of today's announcement of the expansion of SYEP. Increasing funding for summer youth jobs in the budget is one of the best investments we can make. And the council is so very proud to partner with the mayor in efforts like this for the benefit of our very deserving youth. So thank you. And with that, I will turn it over to none other than New York City Public Advocate and new dad, Jumaane Williams.
Put that there if that's all right. Is that okay? Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Adams and Adams, Deputy Mayor, my colleagues in the council, for being here, Commissioner, everyone else, and for our young people. I just want to always try to start opening up with some names. Terea Starnes, Dominique Sylvester, Jeffrey Whitehead, and Alice Rodriguez. They were killed when I was in high school. They lost their life to a bullet. We've been working on these issues for a very, very, very long time. I came from the NICU, so I apologize for my mom was watching. She's gonna wonder why I don't have my blazer on. But I came straight from the NICU. I thought it was important to be here, and I appreciate both Adams and Adams for allowing me to be here. I too know that sometimes reporters come to me about highlighting the differences. I want to make sure I was here because there's so many places where we agree. So many places where we agree. We've been working on these issues for such a long time. I want to make sure the city can see us standing together where we agree, because it is so important that we're all together dealing with this gun violence. When I was the chair of the task force to combat gun violence at the city council, we made a report. During that research, we learned that a 8-week summer youth job, 8-week job can cut violent crime arrests in young people 6 months after that job. That's how good the data was. Except at that time, we had 25,000, 35,000 summer youth jobs with 130-something young people applying. So it wasn't that the young people didn't want the resources, they didn't have it. And so I want to just shout out, along with the council members who were here, Councilmember Debbie Rose, who was then the chair of youth department, thank you, youth services. Well, I helped, along with her and others, shout out to the Black Latino Asian Caucus, shout out to the Progressive Caucus. BLAC really took a lead. We had the biggest expansion at that moment in time. We got to 75,000 youth jobs. But we actually had an administration that was fighting us all of the way, who said you got to go to the council and make it become a priority. So we had to work hard to make it a priority just to get that expansion. I'm so honored to be here with a mayor that we don't have to push back on, and a speaker who's already made it a priority. That's an amazing place to be in. And so just to start off the conversation without having to convince is amazing. We said we need universal youth jobs. People who want this job should get it. Everybody said that the number for universal is actually 100,000, because there's always some attrition for people who apply, who then get it. So as far as I'm concerned, we've achieved universal summer youth jobs, and that's an amazing accomplishment in this city for what we're trying to do and what we're battling right now. So I'm just amazed to be here. It shows that we really want to get to the root of this issue when it comes to gun violence. We really want to give young people something else that they can do. And I'm going to end with something I heard from a pretty wealthy person who you folks may not be surprised. I sometimes speak to wealthy folks. But I try to speak to everybody, get their input. But one, I want to say none of this is an excuse for someone picking up a gun and shooting people in our city. I always want to be clear about that. There obviously has to be accountability and consequences. You can't shoot a baby. You can't shoot police officers. You can't shoot someone in Burger King. You can't do that. But what we've seen too often is spending so much time on the accountability and consequences without providing prevention in the first place, providing the things that we need. And that's what we have to start focusing on. And what that person was more well-to-do said to me is, this is how he sees it. He tells his young people, based on where you live, your socioeconomic status, you have to work really, really, really hard just to fail. A couple miles down another direction, because of someone where they live, their socioeconomic status, they have to work really, 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 really hard just to succeed. That's the gap that we have to close. And that's the problem that we've had for such a long time. And the people that have to work really, 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 really hard just to simply succeed look the same. They have the same issues. All 30 precincts, you'll see similarity in the young people who are struggling in this city, in the state, in this country. We know what we have to do. If folks had a little less melanin in their skin, we would have already done it. But I'm thankful that we're here now making a great step forward. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings, love and light to everyone. We haven't named her yet. I'm trying to work on it, but I didn't want to be, I'm getting that question a lot. My wife is mad. But obviously when you have your firstborn, things start looking a little different. So I need to make sure that she has the resources she needs as she makes it through that NICU and comes in through the process of being an awesome New Yorker. And I'm proud to be a small part of that. But thank y'all so much. Oh, the last thing is why this is important now. Every time the budget started to pass, the biggest issue we heard from the departments, we didn't know how many numbers we were going to have. So they wouldn't let us expend it. So it's awesome that we're this early in the process, knowing what the number is, so we can give everybody a head start to make sure those summer youth jobs are there. Thank you.
I think next up is Councilmember Althea Stevens. Yes, there she is.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Well, thank you, Adams and Adams. Appreciate you. And Jumaane for all your words, and Deputy Mayor. This is exciting. This is a moment that we all should be excited about. I'm Althea Stevens. I'm the council member for District 16 and also the Youth Services Chair. And this is emotional for me because I spent my time in advocacy for the last 20 years, and never did I think that I would walk into City Hall and now it's like, no, you guys are getting everything you've been fighting for. I remember being on those steps summer after summer, begging to get resources for summer youth, and it was never really a priority. But we all know that this is an investment, and I say this all the time. When we invest in our kids on the front end, we don't have to invest in them on the back end. So this today is historic, and I just want to say I'm excited, and I want to make sure that we're not just using words, but the implementation of this is going to be just that more important, right? How are we making sure that our kids are having real opportunities and real job experiences? How are we working with our providers to make sure that they're getting the support that they need to roll this out correctly? How are we working to give DYCDs the support? And I'm just excited that I'm on this team so I can make sure that we actually implement this correctly, because our kids need it and they deserve it. And I'm just happy we don't have to beg for it. So we can actually get to the work. So this is a step in the right direction, but I'm gonna keep pushing, right? Because I wanna talk about Work, Learn, Grow, Summer Rising, all these other programs that's really gonna help and support our kids in the right way. So like I said, once again, thank you. Because I tell you guys, I've been on those steps so many times, begging and pleading for people to understand the importance of this work. And it's so exciting to be here during this moment. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Councilmember Rita Joseph.
Teacher.
Yes, teachers in the house. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. Adams and Adams, my partner in crime over here. We have a lot of work to do. My young people who I've always been on the front line for you, Deputy Mayor. My name is Rita Joseph. I represent Council District 40 in Brooklyn. I'm an educator for the past 22 years, and I'm now in the council. As the chair of education, I always know that young people don't stop learning. So this opportunity with the summer youth is a critical part of this learning process. The skills that they will learn is knowledge. They will participate. Invaluable. This is an investment. We don't know what comes out, like Althea said. The next Oprah, the next Albert Einstein, the next Eric Adams could be right here in this room. So on a serious note, this also is an investment, as my colleague Jumani said. It's an investment to divert from crime. We've seen the spikes this year, and I've been in the center of it from 4 districts across. So this time around, this investment, the summer youth employment is effective alternative to also the data always shows us. I'm a data-driven person, that the data shows that investing in communities also make communities safer. Public safety goes hand in hand in this. So in the long term, my young people will have a little money in their pocket, but they'll also learn how to manage it, support their families. And most importantly, summer youth also teach independence and self-confidence. So I'm looking forward to partnering with each and every one of my colleagues here. And we'll be on the line, Althea, pushing a little harder. Thank you so much.
Next up is one of our great partners, Maimonides Hospital President Ken Gibbs.
Okay. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I apologize, but I think you actually have a lot of named partners in this firm, and I'm not going to name them all. But thank you to all of you. I have a simple two messages. One, this is an absolute good, and 2, it's going to work. And we are a living example. We love this program. Maimonides is the largest non-governmental employer in Brooklyn. We've been at this for 25 years. We have 4,000 alums of this program. Many of them have worked for us. Some have gone on to med school. They entered the economy. This is an absolute good, I said. Here we are, a healthcare institution, and like the mayor, we have always believed that we don't just treat patients. We need to be part of the wellness of our communities. And that's fitness, that's nutrition, that's clean air. It's a lot of things, but it's also employment. And it's taking care of our greatest treasure, our youth. And providing the access to the economy. 45% of the citizens in our core service area are foreign born. 45% of our patients are on Medicaid. This is the community we live in. Healthcare is 18% of the economy. The chance to take a summer, a time of joy, and use it constructively to grow and become part of your community and to go on to be able to serve your community, to access the economy, and also actually in healthcare, I'll give the plug, it's also meaningful work. It's learning that your work life can be part of contributing to the community. This will work. It's phenomenal. So I want to thank the wonderfully named Division of Youth and Community Development, and I want to thank the mayor, and I want to thank all his partners. Let's go. We're going to do more.
Thank you. And I think our most important participant today is one of our SYEP participants, Jacob Montanez. Jacob?
Good afternoon, all. And thank you for the honor of allowing me to speak before you today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to tell you a bit of who I am, as well as my profound appreciation for the Summer Youth Employment Program. My name is Jacob Montanez, and I am a senior at Celia Cruz Bronx High School of Music. When I learned that the Summer Youth Employment Program, I quickly jumped at the opportunity. Not only because I would be earning my own money, but because they offered training that would help me for my future. When I learned that the trainings offered by my community-based organization, Children's Arts and Science Workshop, gave me the confidence needed to perform well in the workplace and to learn. As someone who wants to study engineering, I need these skills to ensure my success in that field. Trainings such as time management, financial literacy, Interpersonal skills, networking with industry professionals are valuable skills required to be successful in any career. Early exposure to these skills allowed me to gain a head start in the workforce. More than that, because SYAP is a paid internship opportunity, I am proud to say that I have some funds needed to provide my college expenses. This past summer, I worked as an assistant instructor of the STEM summer camp, and it was incredible. There I was able to participate in game design, coding, 3D design and printing, robotics, and other hands-on engineering programs. How often can someone say that they have a job as cool and as hands-on as that? Without SYAP, I wouldn't have been afforded this program or opportunity. When I combine the skills and experiences I gained through SYAP, I know that I have a bright future ahead of me. I feel confident, I trust my judgment, and I have become much more creative in my thought process. My SYAP experience has motivated me to think bigger and be more determined than I could ever have imagined. I know that I'm ready for what life has to offer me. Thank you to the Department of Youth and Community Development, the Summer Youth Employment Program, and Mayor Adams for expanding opportunities for my generation and generations to come. Know that you have made a positive impact on my life and thousands of others. Thank you for your time.
Adrian?
We have only time for a couple short questions, and then we can stay on a couple more afterwards. Go ahead.
Bob Huntley, Chief Leader. Historically, many thousands of young people are disappointed every year. That's a ritual. We know that because the chief were about jobs and employment. So are you still going to have a lottery? Because as the public advocate referenced, about 130,000, I think, and so you have people went away empty-handed. But you still have a lottery system. And since I know you have the phone number of the president, having been a CETA graduate back in the day, is it possible that you could say, could you have that rapport, hey, spot us for the rest so you could truly make it universal?
Our goal, and someone can do the technical aspects of it, but our goal, as Jemani stated, every young person that wants a job needs a job. And Deputy Mayor Wright has been reaching outside the boundaries of our city administration and to get that $30,000 person gap filled. Because we agree, we want every young person that's looking for a job to have a job. But the lottery system, Sheena, you want to go into that, or does anybody know the technical aspect?
Hi, I'm Bill Chong, the Commissioner of the Department of Youth and Community Development. So the lottery system was put in place to ensure equity, because before the program was moved to our agency 18 years ago, it used to be the city would print carbon copy applications. Yes, so those of you old enough like you will know what a carbon copy application is. And they would limit demand. And so what we tried to do is open up access. And that's why we had an online application. So what we found in the 16 years that we've had an online application is that young people apply but don't follow through. So last year, for example, to fill 75,000 jobs, we had to make offers to 114,000 young people to fill the 75,000 jobs. There was a drop-off. A lot of young people who have work experience apply as a plan B or plan C in case their other jobs don't come through. Some go to summer school. Some have to go away for the summer. So 100,000 is universal because with the 1.5 ratio, there's a 50% drop-off. We expect to get any young person who wants to work that opportunity to work.
As a quick follow-up, though, will you work with guidance counselors? And so
Yes.
a lot of kids are anxious about it to build the rapport.
So my first job was the Summer Youth Employment Program in 1973. And it's a very different program than what I was involved in. So one of the great things is that we have school-based programs, something that was on my bucket list. And so we had 95 schools last year. We hope to add 50 more. And so the integration with schools is important because we want to align young people's career aspirations with their actual summer job.
And feeding into what Rita, Councilwoman Joseph stated, and I just hearing you said it, we're going to institute in it. Every young person, that the 100,000 young people, we're going to put some type of online financial literacy course as part of doing the summer youth employment. Because we have to come up with one solution to solve a multitude of problems. If those young people may earn extra cash over the summer and they don't understand the value of that, then we're failing. And so we're going to put in place an online financial literacy, an online health advisement. We want to make sure that they come out better at the end of the summer and use this carrot to say, here, you have a job, but here's some of the things we want to empower with you as well.
Mayor, what do you do to make sure that that 6 weeks isn't just a happy summer memory?
Well said. It's very important. I also, my first job was a summer youth job, and I was sitting around doing nothing. I didn't leave the experience. And so drilled into what we want to accomplish is to make sure that at the end of the program that these young people, number one, they're exposed. Number two, that they're meeting other young people to start cohorts. We want to look into how do we deal with increasing hate crimes by allowing them to talk to each other and talk about their own personal experiences. So we want to use, now that we have you in making money, we also want to do everything possible to make you a more readily available to be employed in the future. And so we're going to build that into this. It's just not about, we're just checking off a box that you have a job. How do we give you more while we have you for those 6 weeks in a real way? And that is the charge I'm giving my team to do so.
The mayor has to get going to the next event, but we can stay around and answer more questions.
Thank you all. Thank you.
He's coming up to the next event on the schedule. We'll answer more questions about this. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, you're smarter than the boss, take the test.